Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back. We're heading into map number 2 of Mouse One versus RAD Esports. We saw Mouse One come away with their map pick of Consulate. Now we're going into RAD Esports' most dominant map, winning 3 out of 4 matches on the Swiss stage on this map. It is going to be Nighthaven Labs. I'm joined again by Alpha. Alpha, how are we feeling going into this map?
Oh, I'm feeling like we will have a bang of a match from RAD Esports, falling a bit off in the first one, but this time they will be starting in the attack and they will not be missing their opportunities to take the rounds when in a numbers advantage situation. What do you think? Will they have it up their sleeves?
I think that they just don't need to give away 1v3s. I feel like that can't be, I feel like it's very, very simple. RAD just they're getting the number advantage, they're getting the plant down, they're doing all the things necessary, but they're not winning the rounds. And it just comes down to losing gunfights, isolating 1v1s. Like you're not playing as a team whenever it comes down to these, 4v1, 3v1 situations, 2v1s even. And it's just giving Mouse One a lot of really free rounds that they really shouldn't be getting away with. So hoping that going into Nighthaven, we're going to see a little bit of a switch up from them there. They'll be playing a little bit more coordinated, especially in those positions and situations, have a little bit better drone work, understanding where these players are located. But most importantly, I just hope to see a good match.
Oh yes, and we are going straight into the map RAD Esports versus Mouse One on Nighthaven. And we will be seeing, like I said before, RAD Esports in the attack, trying to fight their way to the bomb site, hopefully defuse the bomb, and then escape safely.
I mean, it's gonna be hard for him, man. Like I don't know how you can give away that many kills, and that many 1vx's. Ban phase, I'm expecting to see the Dokubi, the Blackbeard again, possibly the Valkyrie, maybe a Mira ban, or we'll see the Tuber out banned once again. There's the Blackbeard banned by Mouse One. Mouse One probably going to ban the Valkyrie as well, two of their most common bans throughout the SGC proving grounds. So
Oh yes.
Let's see.
Will the Dokubi be coming out from RAD Esports once again? I would highly expect that one.
Yeah, I mean, I would
good
imagine.
operator. And it's not. Ooh.
Amos is actually such a good ban on Nighthaven. Nighthaven a little bit of a bigger map than what Hans is. So not very surprised by this ban, as it's gonna make it a lot harder for them to roam clear.
Yeah, I was wondering a bit because RAD Esports seem to like the Daemons as well, but this time around they won't be able to play themselves. And the Tuber are once again coming out from RAD Esports. They just want to make sure their FPS stay on the needed amount. And I mean, banning the Tuber overall, getting rid of all time waste he can do, that's just a great ban.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think on the side of RAD Esports, we didn't see much of that in this Valkyrie ban, as we said, we had a good feeling about that one. But we did see that RAD wasn't bringing a whole lot of hard breach Chanel, if I'm not mistaken, on their defenses inside of cons. So seeing if Mouse One can maybe utilize that a little bit better, but we'll see how they start off. It is going to be on the second floor. So we will see RAD Esports on the attack.
Yeah, and we can already see the Maverick and the Ace. Nope, never mind. The Ace being swapped from one player to another, but still be brought to the field. So I would expect the Maverick and the Ace try to get an early pick onto the side of Mouse One and then open up probably both breaches. We still have to wait and see where exactly RAD Esports want to come from, as there are just multiple locations you can enter the map. But I would expect the Maverick to first of all go to this main breach we are looking at right now.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think that with the Mira being brought, I wonder if we're going to be seeing, that Mira positioning onto, the main wall. But with the Ace available, I would highly doubt it. The first Mira going to be placed on top of the Rafters wall. Second Mira probably going over towards the side of Connector, not IT. My apologies. And we see a Thermite Thatcher. Everybody going to be swapping off. They weren't expecting the upstairs to start us off, but the Twitch and the Blitz going to be clearing out the majority of probably the mid floor, if I had to guess.
Yeah, probably just making sure nobody stays below with C4s in hand, utilizing the information they get from probably the mirror windows. And the Zami now in the position probably on the rafters here in the warehouse. We can see here, one Twitch drone already taken care of. The Fenrir goes within the process, but that's okay to trade a Twitch drone with.
Twitch drone and a mute jammer, as well as that main wall will go ahead and get opened up. It's going to be the Ace opening up some nice angles, but it's going to be a very quick round as the Fenrir is going to grab two. He's going to knife up now already a 2v4, as it will be Shooter grabbing one of his. they're going to be taking that connector pretty quickly. Now in a 1v2 already, Perseus shotgun in hand. He knows where one's at. A pre-fire is going to come out, and everyone's just gone. RAD Esports starting off very dominant on this attack, very aware of the positioning, and we're able to find a little bit of a gap. We missed a lot of the kills. Not exactly sure what happened there, but very nicely done by RAD.
Yeah, quick opening here in Nighthaven. RAD Esports just looking dominant as we expected it here, with the previous matches on Nighthaven also being very strong. And I mean, those drones that they had pre-placed, they had to be really good because the entering into the map was just perfect.
Yeah, I mean, that was just very, very well done by RAD Esports. I think they were able to just kind of get into that connector side very quickly, and it seems like the drone work from them finding, a very clear and open gap, able to get a bunch of kills off of it. That's going to secure them that first round, and Mouse1 going to go ahead and go back up onto this top floor, try it out again, hoping to maybe find a little bit more success this time on it. I believe it will be the same setup for them.
Yeah, I think the only problem was they were not paying enough attention towards the connector side, and this time around they can just make this a bit better. I think the setup itself is not too bad, and just playing it a bit different will definitely help them in the defense.
Are they leaving that wall unreinforced on purpose? I don't really understand the point of that one, but maybe it's some tech I'm not aware of just yet. So it will be the side of RAD Esports bringing in almost the same exact comp. This time, instead, bringing that Monty instead of the Ram. They're going to go and try maybe possibly for a blue side take here with this Monty. See that being. But yeah, they're going to head on over to that IT side. It's going to be a little bit more of a default attack. No gaps spotted this time.
Yeah, and I mean the Montagne being a strong operator here, going straight probably, I would say, onto rafters just to make sure they can clear that one out fairly quickly. And you can see that Zami being really aggressive but not taking the shot towards attackers yet. The Montagne still looking for an entry. Can't really push through that Zami yet, but the Maverick already making his work on the breach, and probably soon the breach will go down. Maybe it will just trick it soft. And there we go. Beautifully done. Very quickly, and the Buck just opening it up now.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of what you want to do. You still have all three of those ace charges. You have them for the mirrors, you have them for that IT, or my apologies, the connector wall. So this is a very good spot for the attackers to be in with a minute 45 left on the clock. Now they're going to have to go and clear out the trap positions, but it seems the Azami has already backed away, given that spot up, and now they'll have all of that Raptors available. So they're going to go ahead and start trying to open that up with some ace charges. The Buck going to find one from below. That's going to be the mirror falling. That mirror will also leave on the side of the Raptors. So, did not like that. The smoke swinging out. A very nice shot from the Maverick, because now they'll be walking into IT, have that Raptors open. The Buck going to be on that far side, walking up those blue stairs. So the Twitch doubling up with them. Now they're going to have to clear out this player inside of Command Center. Walking
and they will probably be
out.
so successful. But the cover from the Zami is there. Amazing. Just covering his mate then. With that, the Mute still stays alive and is able to injure another one. That's massive.
Very nicely done by him, as he'll go ahead and find two. He's going to hold his position strong. The Monty going to be swinging out. They'll down him. Now going to finally have the Command Center open, as he's going to be swinging through the punch hole. He's going to find him, though. He's going to walk through the Monty in a 1v2 situation with the one Azami playing on. Pushing up, holding close onto this. Going to bring out his pistol, but it won't be anything as amazing. It's going to close out this round, and what seemed to be hopeless after the opening pick from the side of Mouse1, going to be RAD Esports' fault.
Yeah, perfect cover from the Zami of Amazing to the Mute, just making sure he stays alive, and was able then to take 2 lives from RAD Esports very quickly in return. Like that, just numbers advantage suddenly in the side of Mouse1, and then just closing out the round beautifully there. Really strong performance from Mouse1.
Yeah, I mean, they just looked really, really good right there. Able to find what went wrong in that last round. We're able to kind of, adapt to that. And while it wasn't the cleanest round they've had thus far, it definitely will be a round 1, and that's all they're literally looking. So I'll definitely take that. As now we're going to head down to the basement. It's going to be a little bit of a mid-floor hold here with Perseus on that castle. So they're going to be holding storage.
Yeah, the hatch in the warehouse not yet reinforced. I would assume that will be happening soon, as the Ela is also running past it. And there might be also the possibility to open that one up. But then, I mean, if the outside walls are not reinforced, dropping that hatch would be really, really dangerous. And I think defense would just want to reinforce that one off. The outside walls also being closed. Mute Jammer, the counter breach utility from Mouse1. And I don't really see any real breacher coming out from RAD Esports apart from the Maverick.
Yeah, I think they're going to actually try to take this fight up onto that first floor. They're going to try to, clear out these players who are playing inside of storage, playing inside of forklift, playing in these positions. And they're going to take it kind of close to them, as we'll be probably seeing a hatch drop here. No, actually just going to grab some verticality on through this. The rotate already opened up. However, as over the castle already taking a little bit of fire, looking for a one-tap onto the Dokkaebi. He's not going to be able to find it. Those Dokkaebi's taking this fight. Never mind. Yes, he will. Perseus fighting the first. Nice jiggle from him, and he's going to back on up. He's going to be on low HP, though. He's going to get his spot taken on over by the Fenrir of Fighter. Be back down into the site. Now, without that Dokkaebi, no calls used, so no utility usage from her. That's going to make it a little bit more difficult for this attack to clear out these roamers. The Blitz is going to be sprinting on through Kitchen. The other player going to be up near Lounge, and it seems like they have this side of the map pretty much taken care of. Now have to fight for storage. It's going to be their next point of.
Yeah, you can already see the defense being prepared there, not willing to give up the floor that easily, and they're just holding on to the top here of the first floor very strongly, but the Blitz is already making his way down to the basement, looking for some opening kill off here on his side. And the Zami will be the first one to challenge him, but she will have to be careful about the pressure from above as well as, oh my goodness, the Fenrir has been taken care of by the Ram. The Zami is still in a dangerous position.
Yeah, but the Ram missing the floor hole is just a little bit going to allow this Zombie to kind of play in this position for a little bit longer. So he's going to be running on through, but he will be found. He's going to find him through the shield, it seems like. Very, very insane to play there. As he's going to find a second on this pillar position. The Ram, just a little bit of misplay. Going to miss the vert by just a few feet, and that might cost him the round, but he'll find him through the floor. 1 versus 3 now, as the Elo will be upstairs. He's going to miss the turnaround. Mouse1 finding another round. The basement being a little bit more successful.
Yeah, and that's just a beautiful Mouse1 defense. And going now into round 4, RAD Esports have to figure out how can they break through the defense of Mouse1. They have won the first round with a bit of a rush, but then after that, Mouse1 in their defense really strong and just dominant there. Going to the first floor this time around into control room and storage.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about, we thought RAD was going to kind of run away with this one. We were expecting it to be a very dominant performance, maybe seeing a few rounds by Mouse1 win every year. And again, this was, RAD Esports' favorite map throughout the Swiss stage and one of their most dominant ones as well. So very surprising to see, a lead be taken by Mouse1, but still a lot of game left to play. And I'm hoping that RAD Esports are able to, take their time, learn from what's going wrong, and make their attacks a little bit stronger.
Yeah, and I mean, this time around, they have to face another bomb set. You can already see the Nuck being brought from RAD Esports, and I think that one is a good pick because the only round they won was by surprise, surprising the defenders, and the Nuck is one of those operators really strong in that position, just going in somewhere unexpected and then standing in the middle of the side suddenly, and you just don't know how she even came there.
I mean, loving this setup here by the defense, holding this upstairs, holding the Raptors as strong as possible. They'll have a bandit trick going on this IT wall to, hopefully hold this IT, storage breach a little bit longer. But I think that maybe seeing a Nook go from the basement. I'm not 100% sure exactly what's going on just yet, but a lot of prep.
Yeah, very slow start from the side of RAD Esports this time around. The breach will be opened by the Thatcher and the Termite, but the Bandit Chick is there, destroying one of the Termite charges, the last one in his pocket, so breach will stay closed, and the Bandit will have just free play. He can just replace his Bandit battery, and then the breach will just stay put there in position. No Maverick on the side of RAD Esports, and I also don't see any secondary hard breach gadgets apart from the one in the pocket of Nuck, but she's in the basement just lurking around there and will not make her way up to the top. But the castle might be the first one to fall to the neck as she just creeps herself up the stairs.
Yeah, and I mean, now going to have to be on the side of Mouse 1 to kind of converge onto the stuck position. And then Scoot is going to go ahead and take her down, only going to grab a 1-for-1 trade. And it will be the Thermite falling on that Raptors doorway as well. But Jake Shicey taking a little bit of damage wherever he's at. Not 100% sure, but overall,
you can
the
see
defense.
No, numbers advantage for the defense. That's another one falling.
I mean, this Raptor soul is just a little too strong. You have to get the IT breach open. You're going to have to take a little bit of space over near that connector side. You can't just hit direct on like this, especially with all the verticality being played. When the Nook got the first pick on those forklift stairs, you might just have to, kind of all start working towards that side of the map, which is now what's going on. But given Mousewood enough time to kind of reposition themselves, get themselves back in the spots they want to be, and that's going to make it a lot more difficult for RAD Esports to get themselves back into this match.
Yeah, and now RAD Esports, they're trying to get another surprisement pick here from the Brava, already working away to the bomb set again, but again, the push onto the raft assault from the Thatcher not working out at all. That's just too many positions you have to worry about. Now the Brava left in a 1 versus 4. Try to find the first one already here in this comment center, but no, the mirror is there, and she will just take the head off the Brava.
I mean, I'm going to say it. That was just a very ugly attack from the side of RAD Esports. Did not look like the team that you want to be seeing playing like this in this qualifier. Is just not exactly, the attacks you need to be bringing out. Now, a 1-3 score line. Could it be another 4-2 on the side of Mouse 1? We'll have to see. As hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers, RAD finally finds some footing. They're able to claw themselves back into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this time around, bringing the Grim, maybe going for some more control of the fights, maybe trying to ping out some more of the defenders. I think should really go for some more of these intel picks, because the first time around it was a rush, but also drone positioning was on point. And when they had the information, they were just working perfectly. They just had control over the side. But then in the other positions, in the other rounds, it felt like they sometimes were lacking information.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. I think the lack of information has definitely been a bit of an issue. Yeah, hey, Pulse, how are you doing, brother? As we will see the Monty getting switched on, the Grim no longer going to be available, and the Nomad going to get switched off for a Flores as well. So Maverick getting brought out. This is very, very default upstairs take here. The Azami going to be holding these Raptors again. Will the Azami be cleared out this time is the question. Is she's been a little bit of a nuisance for the side of RAD Esports. So hopefully they're able to work this map a little bit better, get it to their advantage a little bit more. It feels like they're maybe underestimating Mouse 1 a little bit on this map and aren't as prepared as they thought they would be.
Yeah, absolutely. And this time around, you can see once again the Maverick taking care of the breach. The Maverick holes are being opened up, but the Mute looks to counter peek that one, and both walking away with full HP, happy to live for another fight there. The wall not being opened up yet from the Maverick. Some more time to open it up, and he struggled quite a bit there.
Yeah, but he was finally able to get that on open. IT wall will be opened up. It's going to cause a little bit of pressure for the defenders. The Buck now going to be looking towards the Raptors doorway. Seems like we will have a little bit of a positioning from the Monty, going to be by himself down there in the bottom of warehouse. And I think that the Raptors is what they're looking for next year on this attack. Sees the Monty, knows where the Monty's going to be at, has to focus on him just a little bit. As his ace is going to be walking up, will he be able to find this kill on the Kiba barricade? Doesn't seem like the Azami's very aware of this. He's throwing another flash. The Azami's going to swing out. Is he aware? Yes, he is. Causing a little bit of pressure. The Azami's going to have to look. He'll find the first. Amazing. Already looking good, but it's going to be an instant refract. Scoot is going to fall to the Maverick onto the IT wall. Maverick's going to start walking up as well. Has to find this kill on the Azami. Azami in a better position, and she will find the second. It's going to be amazing. Fighting 2 on the round. Now it's just going to be the Monty alone in the rafters. Not exactly sure where the Florence has ended up, but hopefully doubling up as he'll fall anyway. It doesn't matter. The Castle of Perseus, or my apologies, the Pulse of Perseus finding that kill. A lot of damage going on to that player is amazing. He's going to push up on the Raptors window. He's going to find that one as well. He's going to go back to site. Now a 1v4.
Yeah, 1v4 for the Buck. It seems like he has not really that information he needs to really make sure he can at least get the first 2 off the board and then fight his way from a 1 versus 2. And he just even doesn't know about the positioning of the mirror. Is careful about any traps being located there. And oh, that information is being given away, but the Buck just not finding the shots. They're trying to go for the pistol, but will it be enough? It will not.
We talked up RAD Esports so much going into this map, and so far it has just been Mouse One with utter domination. They're going to go up 4-1 on this map. They're already looking to close this out in a 2-0 victory.
Yeah, absolutely. And it feels like RAD Esports is a bit infected by the caster's curse. So we were just absolutely sure they would be winning this round. And right now they are down 1-4. They have to at least get this round to not be completely down. Going 5-1 into their defense would be really, really strong to come back from.
Yeah, I mean, I think RAD Esports just really struggling on this attack to find those opening picks and being able to capitalize off of them, right? Like they thought they had the play, throwing that flash grenade over towards the Azami, but just weren't able to find the angle over the Azami barricade. So the Azami able to find 3 on that Raptors position. Should have been cleared out before she even got the first. That's just really good play by Amazing, as he's going to hold upstairs inside of the storage area with the mute, as it will be a basement hold for them to finish off this half.
Oh yeah, Amazing. Second map now. He has just an amazing run here. 7-1. Also Scooter with 7-3. Those two are just bringing their team to the victories here. And then on the other side, RAD Esports, they have some players just falling flat. Royce is on 0-4, and also Aphex on 1-5. So those two definitely need to step up a bit more for the team and maybe get some picks here and there. And then the things will just look definitely better for the side of RAD Esports.
Yeah, I mean, we're just, it feels like they're just struggling a lot here to find themselves into these rounds. And that first nade is going to be for nothing, as that castle barricade will not fall. Zofia is going to clear out some utility. We'll see the castle's legs, sees that he's walking up towards this window. Will they be able to find this kill is the question. Very aware of this positioning.
The castle
nice
needs to be aware as well, but
Oh.
it won't be enough. Perseus is being taken away from the Zofia, and that's a good opening frag once again, but I feel like RAD Esports, they are oftentimes getting the opening frag, but then are struggling to capitalize on it, as we see the next engagement being coming towards the Zofia, and one of those two will be the next one to fall.
Yeah, I mean, this is just not a great look for either, for RAD Esports, still getting that first pick, which they've been able to do very frequently throughout this half, and just not able to capitalize off of it, as he will have the Zofia ping inside of the lounge, but it doesn't seem like he's going to be going for it. Never mind, he's going to jump through the window. He's going to start heading that way. Pre-fire coming out from the Azami Scooter, looking to get this one. Aphex finally going to get his second on the board, as it will be a nice refrag, though. Scooter going to keep it pretty even. Now 4 versus 3. He's going to be looking for the next. He's going to get wall bang. Going to get found by Karava on the sledge. Now this upstairs control will be had. 1:20 left on the clock. And a 2 versus 3. Really a 2 versus 2. Aphex looking a little weak over there. 1 HP remaining for him, as he'll go ahead and start making that verticality. What will the players of Mouse One do? It seems like they're going to double up, and they're going to retake up onto Fargo.
Oh,
They'll
and
find
that's
the
the first
first.
one
They're
to
going to be
fall.
aware.
Ram in camps will have no the sound cue. The mirror not really aware that there's a one player pushing towards her. Royce taking his first kill in the round, and that's an important one. Semut is creeping around the corner. Ace will try to get his second kill, and he will. As I said, just those players stepping up a bit more for the team is all it takes for RAD Esports.
Wow, and I mean, RAD Esports finding their second attacking round, now heading into the defense. Nighthaven, a pretty 50-50 split, but I would say that it's more of a defender-sided map for sure, as most maps are. So RAD hoping to maybe close up this gap a little bit. Mouse One's going to have to find their footing very quickly over on the attack if they want to keep this lead strong.
Yeah, and I mean, Mouse One, they were really dominant on their attacks on Consulate. Will it be the same here on Nighthaven? I mean, it should definitely be a dominant RAD Esports here. They struggled a bit, but then in the end, this last attack, at least Royce was stepping up a bit more for his team. Aphex also got 1 kill, so those two players finding their way into the match could be beneficial for them. Kate hiding behind that shelf. That's a sneaky strat from RAD Esports.
See, this is what I thought was going to come out from the side of RAD Esports. This this mirror trick here. Once the mirror gets popped open, there's a C4 lineup you can do that can kill any of the Mavericks or any of the charges that are going to be on that wall with a nice lineup. So this is what I was expecting to see, but just weren't able to see it from those last few rounds. And now let's see what Mouse 1 has on the attack.
Yeah, it felt like Mouse were just playing a bit more like a default ranked strategy, while RAD Esports is now bringing us to real competitive strats, and that's the first pick from the Cade. If he was not drowned out yet, Mouse 1 will know about him, but at what cost? XaayN already falling, and that's once again numbers advantage for RAD Esports. And the last time they had it, which was last round, they were successful, so good opening here.
Yeah, I mean, a very good opening, especially when you're taking out the Ash, someone who's going to be able to deal with those mirrors very efficiently. That's definitely the character that you're going to want to take out very early. XaayN also struggling a little bit to get, find his way into the last match on Consulate. So, a very unfortunate start for him as well. 2 and 4 was able to grab, at least 2 entries on those defense halves. So I think walking into this round, we're seeing a little bit of a blue hit, but it's going to be a double kill. The Cade's going to find the Dokkaebi as well. Only 1 call going to go out from him. Now it's going to feel like Scooter and amazing. We're going to have to put this round on their back a little bit, find a few more of the picks. The Grim will be up on this. Amazing going to find his. That's 9 and 2 for him now. The Flores finally finding another. The Mirror going to cross over. He'll find the Mirror. Will he walk in? Will he find the Cade? Or apologies, the Mute. Yes, he will. That's a double kill. Scooter with a pre-fire. The Ace walking up. Are they aware of the Azami? No, they're not. Azami, or my apologies, the Cade's going to find a triple on the rafters. Now a 2 versus 2 as Perseus on the Ace looking for him. The real on that far side, not able to. Amazing going to walk up close to the window. He won't be ready. A quad kill. Now looking for an Ace is Fleeka. He will probably
Fleeka trying to do the same in his defense as we have seen Mouse before do, and he's going for the Ace. Amazing job from the Cade, hiding in the beginning just to make sure he's stealing what he needs to win the round.
Very, very, very nicely done by him. I mean, just a really good round. The Cade able to, really get that round 1 for them. Closing that lead a little bit more. 9 and 5 is going to be his score line now. A 3-4.
Yeah, on the other side, Scooter and Amazing, once again, great performance from them. But against that round from Fleeka, you just have no chance. He just said he wanna win this one. Closing the gap a bit more, only 1 round separating those teams from each other. And I think RAD Esports now in the basement are looking for exactly that 1 round.
Yeah, I mean, already I'm seeing a lot more confidence from RAD. The Cade in the last round, Fleeka just able to really, get himself in a good flow state, able to find some of the picks that he needs, able to find that opening pick and keep it going from there. So now we'll see his teammates wake up a little bit more going into this one. And I think with the basement hold, I believe they'll be going for the same type of strategy that Mouse 1 was holding that first floor. So hoping to see that for him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We can see the Goyo also being brought from RAD Esports this time around. We've seen it on Consulate and now on Nighthaven as well. Just a huge operator when it comes down to time delay and time waste. And I mean, those Goyo kinesis, they can just really stop you in your tracks when you try to take like a 20 seconds plant and then the Goyo kinesis pops and it will stay there put for 20 seconds. But as I'm talking, the first 2 kills are already going in, 3 kills now, and that's just the numbers advantage once again for RAD Esports after this first engagement.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that was XaayN getting in off some information on the Legion, was able to find that opening pick, but the refrags coming out from the side of RAD Esports still drop the star player from that last round and give up 2 of their pretty strong players in the Dokkaebi and in the Buck. So this is going to make this round a little bit more difficult for the side of Mouse 1 as they will not have those information with the Dokkaebi calls, and that verticality is going to be a little bit more difficult for them without the shotgun of the Buck.
Yeah, now only 2 strong weapons remaining on the side of Mouse 1 with only the Maverick and the Nomad able to bring those. Monty being probably something like a living drone at this given point in time where the Dokkaebi won't be able to call anymore, and he has to make sure he stays alive for a bit longer just to make sure that Mouse 1 can go into the site.
I believe there was a little bit of a misdrone on that player inside of Exo. They're not going to push towards it anymore as the Butte will drop down the hatch and he'll get away with his life, but looked a little dangerous there for a second as he will catch the legs. The Monty looking over towards him. This castle barricade will get ripped down. He's going to run away from the C4, but it won't be far enough as the C4 will find him. It's going to down him as the other C4 will go ahead and finish him off. Never mind. He'll get shot out of the air. So Percy is able to live a little bit long on that side.
Oh, yes. But still, only 20 HP remaining for the Monty. And 2 grenades, 2 impact grenades, so in the hand of the Goyo, and also the Goyo canister, so that Montaigne is not in an ideal position because he wants to live just with a bit more HP, just to make sure he survives 1 or 2 explosives.
Yeah, I mean, 45 seconds left on this clock. They're going to have to work their way down the exo stairs. Still a mirror on this main wall, so the Maverick's not going to get much use out of him over here. I don't think they are aware of that positioning of the Goyo just yet, so he'll stay hidden and tightly in this corner. So he'll swing out. He'll find the first. Amazing, trying to get his team back into this round. Is now pushing through. Not aware of the Goyo. The Goyo will find his. It's going to be a double kill for him. Will the Vectors be able to win this one out? As one will be upstairs, wallbanging down to it. Won't be able to find that one. The Monty's going to have to fight all by himself. The Breach not able to get to a 3 versus 1. 7 seconds left on the clock. The mirror window still looking his way. RAD Esports tying it up 4-4.
And that's an amazing defense here. 2 rounds already. Looking for the 3rd one now in round 9. And if they succeed to get this one... Oh, and here we go. We have a mouse 1 timer, and I completely understand. Because if RAD Esports manages to take this defense... then they have won all 3 bomb sites, and that's just not the position you want to be in.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. This is a really good time out here by Mouse One. You know, they have been struggling a little bit to find their footing on the attack. So 2 rounds lost, 3 rounds in a row lost for them. Take a second, take a breather, slow down that momentum coming in from RAD Esports, and kind of get an idea of what is going wrong, what we can do a little bit better. You know, we found the entry on that first round, or on that last round, and we just weren't able to find anything after that. We were able to misdrone that Goyo. He was able to find 1, I think 2 off of that, if I'm not mistaken. So just a little bit of a misplay from them, and they're going to have to find a way back into this one.
Do you think they have changed up this time around after the small time out here? I don't see any picks from them yet, so we still have to be surprised on what they are bringing, and that just seems like a default setup for them.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what we saw. I would imagine that one is going to swap off to like either a Maverick or an Ace, as it is going to be that middle floor site. We'll be seeing storage and control on that first floor. Will their defense be as strong as it was for Mouse One? Mouse One had a very, very, very good round on storage and control. So hoping that we'll see RAD continue their momentum, continue gathering these round wins. They were down 2-4 on the half. They tied it up. Will they keep going?
I think this time around Mouse One should really know what they want to do here. Because, I mean, it's the 3rd spot for RAD Esports. They the least favorite. And that one, that should be the easiest round for Mouse One. And I'm really fearing for the sake of Mouse One if they lose this round as well. Because then it feels like the decider will be absolutely coming in for us in the next map.
Yeah, let's see how they're able to find themselves into this round. It will be a blue side hit as they're going to go ahead and take this timing a little bit quickly off the information. The Monty Shield going to be holding the side, but Solus going to be kind of aware of this push as she will be holding this way. The Monty going to be in. Some wall bangs coming up, not gonna be able to find anything. The flash gonna come through, gonna go a little deep as he'll be Fleeka of the Azami in the rafters, finding it off the window. Saw him in this position last time as a wall bang's gonna come through. He's gonna find the Grim as well on the far side of blue stairs. The Monty gonna be all alone over there as Fleeka is just gonna continue his domination.
Yeah, Fleeka just flying since his ace, and he just found 2. The Legion is looking for a 3rd one, and that one would be massive. Right, instead, it's taking the 1, Curvo, helping his mate out, and that's just leaving Fighter in 1 versus 5, and I don't see any chance for him to taking this round back.
Yeah, I mean, just a really strong round by the Azami and the Raptors. They had an idea of a take they wanted to do. RAD Esports were able to read into them very well. It's going to be another kill for him, a flawless round for RAD Esports, and this is who we expected to see doing this on the SAF. Very nice pre-fire by him as well. So very, very, very nicely done by them is they're not going to take the lead.
Yeah, and that's a 3-round victory now. Heading back to the top floor, we will see a bit of a different setup, I think, from the side of RAD Esports. I don't see the Kate yet. Flicker still not picking his operator, going for the random pick, I think. And that means we don't have the Kate on the side of the defense this time around.
You know, that's okay. That's okay. I think that they're feeling a little bit more confident now. I think that they've, really figured out how they want to hold this, what this map means to them, how they're able to play this map. Because, we talked them up a lot, man. We really did, Alpha. Like,
Yeah.
we thought we cast a curse them. I think they're back. I don't want to cast a curse them again. I don't really know how it works, but they're feeling good. I think that their command center hold was very, very well put together. They were able to hold the Raptors very efficiently. We won't see the Azami this time, which is a little scary for them, but RAD Esports are able to close this one up. We will be seeing a map 3.
Yeah, and I mean, they are 1 round away from map point, but Mouse One on their side is only 1 round away from tying this one up, and you can already see a sneaky Fenrir gadget outside. We tend to see it more often in tournaments, and I mean, that's just a good one to have there, because the Fenrir can just swing out as soon as it goes off.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think we will be seeing the connector wall get opened up, as it will be a connector side take. Will we be seeing the mirror on this side for RAD Esports, or is it on the main IT wall? That's the question. They don't want to push into it either way. Mouse One will be taking connector over. I believe that they have not brought a Maverick this time. No, they have not. So that's going to make things a little bit more difficult for them, as they have been leaning on that Maverick a little bit.
Yeah, they have this time around, they have the Thatcher and Ace combination, the Fuse and Heartbreach gadget combination, it feels like. The mirror window is on this main wall, not being opened up, so no C4 will come out. You can see the Thatcher EMPs just making sure that everything is being interrupted. Electric Wisted comes to the breach, and like that, Frostron struggling a bit to come in, but in the end, it will take care of the Fenrir gadget.
Yeah, I mean, they are already giving up this Raptors control fairly quickly. Be able to back up here. I believe connector will possibly be the point of which they want to go in. So it'll be Scuda getting taken down first. Fleeka going to find his. He has been waking up on this round, as Alphax is going to find his as well. But he will get traded out. Now a 2-for-1 trade, as they're going to be holding the rotate. The mirror's going to swing through. Amazing's going to find his. Jake Shiesty going to find that one. Amazing on a double. Now as Fleeka walks into IT, he's going to get found. Jake Shiesty. And Amazing waking up on this round. Jake Shiesty just
my goodness.
Everyone. He's going to walk through IT, and he's going to be very dominant with that L8 in hand. Finds the player on the top of blue stairs, and they're going to tie it up.
I felt like RAD Esports had that in their pockets already after the opening 2 kills, but then suddenly Mouse One were figuring out they should take some shots back to win the rounds, and they did so, and they did successfully taking this round. And now we are on a 5-5, and I can't see anything else than an overtime coming for us.
I mean, that was just a very impressive round nonetheless by the Thatcher of Jake Shiesty. He was able to, wake up a little bit there. He's going to be 6-6 now, I believe 3-6 before that round. So very nicely done by him. Just right spot, right time, as we'll see the basement getting played once again.
Yeah, and the basement, this time around, Fleeker once again on that Legion. He did great before with the tier 5 in his hand. I mean, he's 13-7. He's just stepping up for his team, keeping them in the match, and without him, that would have been over way earlier. You can now see him just making a few rotates, extending to kitchen, and it feels like RAD Esports are going for a bit more spread top floor hold, or first floor hold, to say at least. And we'll see what Mouse One are willing to bring.
Yeah, I mean, we saw this a little bit in the first round on the basement. It was Fleeka holding this exact same spot, was able to get found on the entry, but it was 2 refrags coming out from the side of RAD Esports that were able to, get that round in their pockets. The Monty running up on the Legion very quickly. Sparcius going to ADS, shoot down the first Legion mine. He's going to run through the kitchen, going to force the Legion out. They're going to double up inside of the lounge. Jake Shiesty looking for that kill, but won't be able to find it. And they're going to clear this whole side of the map very quickly. Still the player upstairs, however.
Yeah, 2 minutes 20 still left. You've mentioned it before. There's one player on the top. You could be a nuisance for Mouse 1, but right now they are working their way towards storage, and they want to make sure they can start now the vertical pressure. You can see Fleeker being pressured from above, trying to find the head of the Buck, but the Buck instead, amazing, will find Apex, but taking some shots in return.
Ooh, kind of in a bad spot here. Fleeker gonna have to really rely on his aim to get himself out of this position, as he will get out scot-free, it seems, and not exactly sure how aware they are of the players' positioning on this bottom floor with a minute 30 left on the clock. They're going to be taking Exo stairs. Grim B is going to come out. They see the VP in front of them. Should be pretty easy to get rid of those. The Impact DP will come out, and it's going to be amazing finding his double on the round. He'll find the second. The Dokkaebi Gall going to come out. Legion running up the green stairs now. He's going to try to flank over into that kitchen area, retake a little bit of space that has been lost. Will the Buck be aware of this? That is the question. He's in a really good spot. The Buck starts making a little bit more verticality. He won't be aware. It's going to be amazing to fall. Fleeka finding that one now with 3 versus 4. He's going to try to even out the odds a little bit, as Exo has been completely taken over by the side of Mouse 1. The C4 is going to come out. That's going to cause the diffuser to be down. That's the Monty lost fighter. Trying to get that back. It's going to take a little bit of damage. Scooter finding his.
Mouse 1 is starting to fight back. The HP are even on both sides, but still 3 guns up for Mouse 1. And only 1 for RAD Esports as second to last. Now also last player fall. And that's Mouse 1 on match point and also on serious point here. And that's just only 1 round to qualify for the qualifiers.
Yeah, 1 more round and RAD Esports is out of the tournament. Let's see if they are able to take that pressure and use it to their advantage. They have to win this round to force overtime, or this one running away with their map pick.
Oh yeah, RAD Esports now losing 2 rounds after another. The tactical timeout for Mouse 1 really going into the favor. They have figured out a way to overwhelm RAD Esports, and we are going to see the storage side once again. RAD Esports were successful the first time around on this side. Will they be once again? What do you think?
I think RAD held the site very, very well. I think that this will be a very dominant performance by them. I'm expecting to see overtime here. Just, you know, a little bit of a professional opinion. I think that they may have overextended themselves just a little bit, gave up a few too many picks there at the beginning of that last round. So I think they'll clean it up a little bit here. They no pressure to them. I think that they'll do just fine. So Fleeka being a very dominant player, 14-8 is his stat line, the only positive player on his team. As a matter of fact, got a little bit of lag going on.
Yeah, I think we lost the feed there for a second. I hope we'll be back in a sec. The match is already starting.
Yeah,
and there we go.
There we go. We will be seeing the Ram, the Grim, and the Ace. That Dokkaebi has been very vital in pretty much every attack thus far in this matchup. The Iana, a blue pick, 2-8. Perseus unable to find his way into the game very well. He's been on the shield operators a lot, though, taking a lot of really good space. Those are the stat lines you don't really see, but if you're paying enough attention, you'll know how important they are for his team. It will be an IT take.
Yeah, and I loved the Iana being brought because you just have so much more information on where the enemies are. Beautiful pre-play scan could be crucial to the life of Royce. And the breach is being opened up. Bandit was able to take down 1 ace charge, but the second one will open up the breach. And he is just, yeah, here you can see it here in the replay. One side was able to be tricked, but the other one opening up.
Yeah, I mean, a very good job by them, as like I said, though, this IT side will be the side needed. A minute 50 left on that clock. You have exactly what you need. Open. Now it's time to take a little bit of space off of it as well. Izami playing on the top of those rafters.
Good drone work from Mouse 1, spotting another operator from RAD Esports. The Zami looking for his first kill, but instead XaayN finds Scooter, and that's the opening frag for the defense once again. And I feel like RAD Esports were able to use those openings and the numbers advantage a bit better last times around, but Legion, oh, amazing, finds XaayN, and that's just numbers tied up once again.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a really good double up there by Amazing and by Fighter. They were able to find that pick as the Ayana Perseus finally being able to find his as well. So we're on the same level as the site inside of Fort Natal near those green stairs. He'll find his on to Fleeka, the most dominant player thus far in the lobby. Very nicely done by him.
Yeah, still Ram above, trying to find this entry into the map, using the Ram gadget to just go through the barricade quicker, but Perseus taking off the life of Apex. That's a 4 versus 2. Still 2 players on the side of Mouse on low HP, make that a 1 as one of them is falling. Fighters out of the match, and that's a the Soul is spotting the Ayana, and I think if the Ayana was going in a bit more with her own, that would have been a lot of more kills. But oh my goodness, Jake XaayN just walking up on top, taking the double kill, and with that, securing themselves further in the tournament and ending the dreams of RAD Esports.
Yeah, I mean, that was just very nicely done by Mouse One. They were able to find their way into that map very dominantly, a 4-2 half for them, and it looked really good from there. You know, they gave up a little bit in the mid round, were able to lose 4 in a row, but able to come back and win those last 3 necessary. Mouse One looked very, very, very good, and that's going to close out the first playoff game, sending RAD Esports home. Mouse One go into the next.
Yeah, I just love to see Mouse One taking the map pick off RAD Esports. And I mean, from the stats, RAD Esports, they should have won that one. But in the end, it just comes down to their performance and just playing a bit better in Mouse One. Just were on top in both maps. So congrats to them moving forward. And RAD Esports will be out of the whole tournament, sadly for them.
It's unfortunate. Nothing more you can really do. Is I think we are going to go ahead and head on out of here as going to be Mouse One heading to the next. You know, I believe Mouse One were the lower seed in that as well, which is kind of impressive. So really big shout out to them. And you just can't lose the 1Vs, man. I don't know what else to tell RAD Esports. Like, that's just unfortunate. Consulate, you had so many opportunities and it just didn't come to fruition, unfortunately. Alpha, do you have anything else you'd like to add? Any shout outs, any mentions?
No, I just appreciated casting with you first time for us too. And I mean, I enjoyed it a lot. I hope you as well. And
That's it. Sounds good. Well, we're going to get on out of here. GG's to everyone. It was a great time. Mouse One, a big congratulations to you guys. A big congratulations to anyone else who won tonight. There will be an update in the Discord of the bracket and of everyone who was able to make it through. That is going to be all from us today. It's been Aaron. It's been Alpha. We'll see y'all later.